go. Finally, we can start this thing.
Start.
All right, well then let's, I guess, start this thing.
Let's start this.
So how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Excited for another show.
Yeah.
Another Nut Up show, another episode.
Do it.
Let's do this. And today I thought it would be a good idea to just to spend a couple of minutes, maybe, or however long this is going to take, and just talk about the fat acceptance movement and the body positivity or healthy at any size, all these different kind of things are all kind of
They'll mean the same thing.
intertwined. Well, there's different movements, I think, in organizations. But anyways, let's just talk about maybe our thoughts behind it. And and just I don't know, see where the conversation goes. And I think I'd like to mention beforehand, like for me, back, 4 months ago, given my size and my body mass, basically look at my body mass index, I was classified as obese, which is
so crazy
to think.
Yeah.
And again, looking at the pictures,
you're big.
It's like, you don't even feel like you're that big, but it's like, oh man, I got pretty big. I mean, obviously wasn't 300 pounds, it was 210 pounds, but for a shorter guy, it's a lot of weight to put on. So being classified as obese is something. So at least I feel like I have something to speak on that regards in terms of actually being obese and how that affected my health. And so I don't even know where to start.
I think even like maybe people are like, why are you guys even talking about this?
Sure.
And I think like some of the people that we follow on like YouTube or Instagram are pretty vocal about like the whole fat acceptance and their thoughts on the fat acceptance and body positivity movement. And so I think that was maybe just kind of our jumping off point was, well, what do we think about it? And we've kind of had conversations about it as well. And
because it's something that I know that I've just heard recently. Like, it's not something that I've known about for a long time. I didn't know it was.
But it's been going on for a long time,
I guess
actually.
Just reading up on it a little bit since the 60s, I think it was one that first, and it kind of comes and goes in different waves. Yeah. And I guess maybe let's try to understand it a little bit. And I guess like the healthy at every size, I think the whole idea behind that is obviously, I think it's kind of a social justice movement and they're really about including everybody, and no matter what age, gender, race, how big, small you are, or whatever,
or even like what you look like. Like there's that one Winnie Harlow. She's a model, and I forget what it is. I forget what the condition is called, but the pigmentation on her face, her whole body is
like Michael Jackson, I guess, like what he had.
No,
not like that.
No, it's like, like the pigment is changed. So part of her face is like a darker brown while the other part is quite pale.
Yeah. So, I thought that's what Michael Jackson had. And that's why he kept on getting white, because he anyways.
But like, so people that have kind of conditions, quote unquote, like that as well. So,
and I think what it says is that, obviously no one should be excluded from anything just because of things that they can't control or can control, whatever. That's a whole other issue. And to not be made fun of, discriminated against. And I think that kind of encompasses it. Am I missing anything out?
I think so.
One thing I don't understand, or if this is part of that healthy at any size, is that they're also saying that it's actually healthy to be overweight and healthy to be obese. So I don't know if that's a part of that movement, but I guess we'll talk about everything in general, as in the general idea is that it's healthy, that people are saying that it's healthy to be overweight and that obese, and that you shouldn't be basically told that it's unhealthy, I guess, because that's not a good thing. And obviously, I mean, for me, I'm 100% against this because, like I said, I was obese, and I'm telling you, in terms of my health, like there was a lot of things that were just not good. Like I can feel there was a whole lot more pain in my back. Carrying all that extra weight. So whenever I'm sitting down, it was a lot more painful. And I already had issues with my back as it is. And then putting on extra weight just made it worse. And then there's extra weight on the joints, and I could feel like my knees and my ankles getting, just even exercising with that is just like that much more of an impact.
Well, and even in terms of performance when you're playing sports.
And sports performance is just it's just a lot slower on the ice. Just a lot harder to pull myself up for a pull up. Like it's like there were so many, at least even performance, so many negative issues involved with just gaining extra weight. I mean, where it might be good is if I was doing like maybe doing some powerlifting or something like that, where it might be good to have that extra weight. But I'm not doing that. That's not the point. And a lot of those guys, they might look bigger, but they're like very muscular as well too. But and then there's things with sleeping where I think I was snoring a whole lot more. Not sleeping as well, and harder to just get comfortable just because like my stomach was out there and like so it was just I could just feel like I wasn't healthy. Like you can just tell, being shortness of breath going upstairs, like it just wasn't a good feeling. And I just felt tired and slow and just groggy and just overall just I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like,
I think that's a perfect way to.
And it's like, cause I know it's like I lost almost 50 pounds, right? 46 pounds so far. And it's like, imagine lift up a 50-pound dumbbell and be like, you're carrying that around heavy. Extra. And it's like, it's a pain in the ass to carry that around. Right. So and it just wasn't good. So,
and I mean, we didn't do any blood tests, which it would have been really interesting if we had it done. Been
really cool.
But I wonder like what your cholesterol level was like, maybe you even were like getting to like pre-diabetes, what your hormone levels
I don't know if I was
like
that close, but hey, who knows?
You don't know though, right? Like, so in other like metabolically, like what your blood test would have been and that sort of thing. It would have been really interesting.
It would have been really cool to see.
Yeah.
So for me to hear that people are saying, I'll just say this, like nobody should be made fun of in any circumstances. Nobody should be made to feel bad because of their weight or be like, go to the gym and be like ridiculed for going to the gym. It's like, Jesus, these guys are going to the gym because they want to try to make a change and get healthy. It's like, it should be celebrated, not being like, haha, look at this obese person trying to lift weights and make fun, then make them not want to go. Like that. There's so like, that's such
I think what you're talking about here is that maybe we should kind of clarify. I think there's like fat acceptance and this body. I think fat acceptance maybe is kind of what we're talking about. Body positivity in terms of just feeling positive about your body, regardless of how you were born, looking, what shape your bones are, whatever. That's another thing. And then fat shaming, of course, is like a completely other thing. And I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I just want to put it out there saying that that's not what I'm advocating for.
And that's what I'm also going to say is like, making fun of someone, bullying someone, putting someone down for any reason.
Just being an asshole and a very shitty human being.
Yeah.
And it's not cool.
Not acceptable.
Regardless.
Not acceptable.
And that being said, the fact of the matter is being obese is not healthy. And I'm talking from personal experience, but you can also just look at all the health issues that are associated with being obese. You have diabetes, you have, you have chronic pain,
cardiovascular
disease, heart attacks, cardiovascular.
For a lot of women that are overweight develop PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Yeah. That can have implications for fertility for sure.
Yep.
Also, even if you don't want to have kids, it's not a pleasant condition to have. It messes up with your hormones. There's all kinds of cancers associated with obesity as well. Yeah. It's not.
I think too, a lot of things interconnected with, like you're talking about elevated risk of cancer, and that also has to do with the foods you eat. Yep. I mean, generally speaking, I'll make this without any kind of, I don't have any papers in front of me, but generally speaking, if you're getting to the point where you're eating so much and you're obese, you're intaking food that's not healthy for you, right? Like you're not getting obese eating salad all the time, or you know what I mean? Like you're eating processed crap and all these red meats and all whatever. And that shit's not good for you. Chips and ice cream and all that stuff all the time.
No.
It's in pop. Like, it's funny. I was telling you about this video I watched from Dr. Berg. He's talking about the average person drinks 50 gallons of poison a day. And of course it's, sensationalized, I guess, because it's poison, whatever, but it's like, it's pop, and it's like, it's that fructose or whatever. And it's just
high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. It's just, it's not healthy for you. And you consume this all the time and that kind of stuff. Like we're talking about insulin, all that kind of stuff. It just helps you pack on the extra fat. Oh, yeah. And then it just
nobody needs that much sugar.
It just clogs over your liver, and it just deposits all this fat around your organs. And like, it's just not healthy.
No.
So don't start telling people that it's okay to be fat and it's healthy, or that it's healthy to be fat, which is saying that it's okay. It's like, oh, we're health. We could all be healthy at any size. No, you can't be.
You can't.
It's the same thing for somebody who's dramatically underweight. Like where's the underweight advocacy that it's okay to be anorexic and to weigh 50 pounds and to be like so thin that it's a very serious medical condition?
Yeah.
I don't hear anything about that.
No.
But yet on the other side, it's okay. So why is that? And again, there's a difference between making fun of somebody because of them being obese versus saying, listen, if you want to get healthier, you need to lose weight because it's just strictly not healthy.
Yeah.
And then even for me, like, I'm not going to go tell anybody that. Like, you just do whatever you want to do. Like, I don't like that.
Well, the thing is you could tell someone that, but it's up to them
they're not,
to make the change, right?
Like, exactly. Like they know, everyone knows. And it's like, like, like I'm just going to say it. Like most of the people that are saying like, oh, I'm healthy and whatever, they're like 500 pounds. Like, you're not healthy. You're not healthy. It's like, oh, I feel fine. I don't know. I go to the gym and I actually, it's like, but yet they're eating cakes and whatever.
Crap.
And like, it's not, you're not healthy. You're not healthy.
No.
So that's like, I don't even know what analogy is for that. It's just.
Yeah. And I think the big thing is like women's like body image of themselves and what's considered beautiful. I think that has, I don't know, it's really been all messed up for women. Like women have always had these issues with what is beauty and what is the perfect size and the perfect woman. And it changes almost like from decade to decade. And so I think that's kind of where this whole movement has come from, is in terms of like, magazines and fashion and all that stuff.
I mean, the beautiful woman back in the day in the 50s or 60s or whatever it was. Used to be, because it used to be more curvy or whatever. Like everything. And like, not to say like, women are the only ones that have this issue, but men have this issue as well too. I mean, no, like guys, like look at the magazines and look at the movies. Look at all these movie stars or whatever. And, they're all these superhero guys or whatever. And we could talk about this. Like I said, they're all pumped up with steroids or whatever, get made to look whatever. Like this is what a real man looks like. I mean, it's the same thing for like that's
absolutely.
This is what bothers me is that everyone has problems and everyone has issues in terms of what society says you should be, regardless of whether you're male or female. And yes, there's differences and everyone has their problems or whatever. And I'm not saying anybody's problems are worse or easier or less, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a problem for everybody. But the fact remains, regardless of your gender or whatever, being fat is not healthy for you. It's not healthy. And you just don't go around saying it is. If you want to be, fine. No sweat. It doesn't matter to me, right?
Yeah.
And if that's what makes you happy and you want to do that, then that's fine. But just don't say that it's healthy and don't try to force it upon everyone else that it is healthy or that they have to conform to that your worldview. It's not.
Well, and then you have to wonder, like, well, what's
good for people and it's not good for society.
Well, and then you wonder, like, what is the motivation behind some of these people, like this Tess Holiday or whatever her name is? Like, what is her motivation? Like, why are you saying that it's okay and it's healthy to be that size?
I don't know. Do you think is it just money?
I don't know.
I'm just going to make a whole lot of money and people are saying this and I'm backing it up and I get, it's controversial maybe. And then it's like, you get more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think maybe that's what it is. She has like over 2 million followers on Instagram and she's, has magazine covers. And I think, I don't really know that much about her to be honest, but I think she is a model. So definitely you're going to get more stuff and that's fine. Like you're comfortable with who you are and how you look. And she's she's pretty. And I think she's attractive, but it's like, don't say that that's healthy because you're influencing other people and you're not promoting health. It's just like.
But you know what though? I think this is a problem. Like even beyond her, I think even when you have people that are healthy and fit and anyone who's that super, that's influencer or whatever.
Yeah.
They're all doing things that are, I think, unhealthy and they're all preaching things that are almost unrealistic and unattainable.
Absolutely.
Like the, what is it? What's that girl's name there? Really popular girl married to, is it Kanye West?
Oh, Kim Kardashian?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that person or the whole family, like all of their stuff is like, what is it? Like their plastic surgery, photoshopped, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And because Joe Rogan, I guess, he had this thing with Kardashian where they saw like an unedited photo. They're like, bah! And then it's like, what the hell? Right. Because it's like,
it's not real life.
Yeah. And it's all being promoted
as
is. Like,
real
oh,
life.
you could attain this or whatever, or just buy my fitness band and then whatever, and then work out do these exercises and you'll look like me and all this stuff. So there's lots of, like, it's all, you can't look to these types of people and say, like, this is how I should strive to be, whether it's too big, very muscular or whatever, like, cause it's not, I don't know.
Yeah. It was interesting. So Alan Roberts, the Every Damn Day fitness guy.
Oh, Alan Roberts. Yeah. I remember Alexa was talking about that because she loves him.
He is. He's awesome.
He just tells it like it is. And it's like, listen.
So he had this one Instagram post, I think it was this past week, maybe, but it was,
are you bringing it up?
Yeah. So it's just, he responded to this one person that was like, talking about like Tess Holiday and her out, she's promoting like health at any size kind of thing and fat acceptance. And he was like, well, she went through some really horrific experience when she was younger. And he's like, well, she found solace in food, and that's how she got to this point in her life. And so, I think you should just kind of like back off her and like let her do her thing. Cause he does a lot of videos about like stop.
Oh, to that. Oh, so he was doing videos on that person.
I think so. And just
something
like
happened. Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody was responding to him, saying,
that.
Just back off this person. Okay.
And so he said, it was like really interesting what he said, and it made a lot of sense. And he compared it to alcoholism. And he was like, I'm just reading it now. It says, if an alcoholic was telling millions of people, many of which were also alcoholics, there was nothing wrong with being an alcoholic, that it was even healthy, should you just not say anything?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, well, no, you need to call people out on it, especially when you're influencing other people. And I think especially younger people, because the earlier that you start gaining this weight, as like childhood obesity is an issue. We have kids now that have type 2 diabetes. Like your life,
that shit's not normal. That shit is not normal. And it's not healthy. Like,
no, and then your lifespan is shrunk and your quality of life goes down. Right. And I think that's what it's about quality of life.
Yeah.
So it's like, people, I don't think you shouldn't shame the person and make them feel bad. But I mean, I think it's really important to say, look, what you're saying is not right. Like to challenge them on what they're saying. Where's your science behind it?
Yeah.
There isn't any.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the tenets of the healthy at any size movement is that, just challenge the status quo of science, right? It's just like, well, I don't believe your science or whatever it is, right? So then it's like, right away, then you can give them all the science you want. They'll just turn their nose at it, be like, well, no, I don't believe in that, right?
The other interesting thing is, like, I was reading up a couple of these different like advocacy groups for people that are obese. Mm-hmm. They even want it to be like, they want to be an identified group in part of like disability acts. And I don't know I think this is just within the States. I have a very, very difficult time with that. Having a child with an identified disability, I have a hard time. That's something that is preventable to be called a disability.
That's the thing. Listen, there's like the rare genetic disorders where some people can't put on fat. And I think there's another one the other way around where they just tend to put on a lot. I don't know what they're called or whatever, but there's those.
There is
extremes.
Actually genetic. And that's the thing too, is like, there's a lot about obesity that's still being developed. There are different contributing factors, environmental for sure. There is some genetic stuff that's coming out. Gut biome stuff is being shown to be an influence. However, go ahead.
I mean, those are like extreme cases, but for like 99 point whatever 5% of the people that are obese, it's your own fault for getting there. It was my fault for getting there. How did I get obese? Well, I ate like shit and I didn't exercise as much as I should have. Not even the exercise. Forget about the exercise. I just ate like shit. I was going to
say, you're pretty active. You're still pretty active.
But even to lose weight, it's all about what you eat,
it is,
right?
100%.
Because like, it's like if you want to go the calorie route, right? Like an Oreo cookie has like what 100 calories or 150 calories, or whatever. But in terms of how many calories you burn, that's like you have to run or walk lightly for like an hour. Like it's a lot easier to reduce your bad food than to sweat it all out in the crazy, exercise or whatever.
I mean, it just goes back to that tenet. You can't outwork a bad diet.
No, you can't. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Right. So that, like, forget about exercise. I ate like shit. Like, I feel bad about something, eat like a whole pizza. Like, that is not healthy. And that was just at one sitting. Forget about the breakfast that I had, or forget about the lunch, or forget about what I had afterward to wash down the shame of the pizza.
I was going to say all the pop that you
all the gallons of
poison.
Poison. Yeah, exactly. So like all that stuff, and that's exactly what happens. And then all of a sudden, I have to be like I'm going to be a protected person because somehow something external is coming and attacking me, and I need to be protected from. Like, there's no way that makes that doesn't make any sense. And what about people that actually need to have some kind of status or whatever because they were born with it or whatever?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's the thing. Things that are actually you can't control.
We have a child, like that's why
somebody that has an actual disability that their spine is broken, they can't walk or whatever. This is something they can't change that.
Yeah.
But like, you have diabetes, well, you should get special treatment and whatever. How about, okay, well, you have that. So then here's what you need to do to get out of it because it's reversible.
But then I think this all comes back to people just not taking responsibility. And I think we are really starting to live in a society where people are just not nutting the fuck up and taking responsibility for what they're doing.
Yeah. See, I'm getting triggered now. That's all there is to it. Just because, I mean, it blows into so many different aspects of society nowadays and things that we're seeing in terms of everyone's got to be a victim of something. And then it's just like this mentality that, well, I'm a victim, so I need to have some kind of special treatments because of whatever happened. And it's always external factors that are the cause of where you are today or what your situation is in.
Yeah.
But I don't hear anybody. Well, I mean, I not very vocal anyway, saying like, oh, I'm in this position. You know what? Because of stuff that I did, I fucked up. I am going to do what I need to do to get myself into the place that I need to be. It's if I work hard and I do what I need to do, then I will get to where I want to go. Well, I mean, there are people, of course, that are doing that, but it's the majority of people seem to be wanting some kind of special handout.
And so, but this
is that are in their hands.
And then this is part of like this victim mentality and like this Tess Halliday. And then there's actually another woman that Alan Roberts talked about. We'll talk about that in a bit. But it's like, it's always externalizing things like, oh, it's the diet industry. It's always been, targeting women to lose weight. And oh, it's the fashion industry. It's like, no, it's stop eating shit food.
Yeah.
Stop eating shit food. Yeah. It's that simple. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Like,
well, again, you just,
Don't blame it. Don't blame it on your family. Don't blame it on whatever. Maybe there are contributing factors that made you feel like crap. And so you consoled yourself with food, but recognize what's happening and step the fuck up and do something.
But I guess it's easier to put the blame on other things and other people and other factors and just try to make everyone else change as opposed to looking within and changing yourself. Because it's hard to look within and notice
it's
flaws
really
and
difficult.
vulnerabilities. But it's something that a lot of people need to work on.
Yeah.
And that being said, though, I'm not going to discredit anything that you just said.
Yeah.
But the whole fitness and nutrition industry, diet industry, whatever you want to call it, it is fucked up. And it is,
100% it is.
For years, for decades, saying shit that is completely false.
Yeah.
And the information out there is wrong.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing about dieting, even dieting is stupid and shouldn't be done because it's false. And like we talked about The Biggest Loser. I think we did. Did we talk about this at some point? I don't know. Whatever.
I can't remember.
But anyways, The Biggest Loser, like that diet, it's one of the most popular, what is it, number 3 in terms of the most popular diets on, I don't know where those stats come from, but it's a popular diet. And what it is, it's basically cutting calories to the point where your metabolism slows
right down.
And then all the people on The Biggest Loser, they end up gaining their weight back.
Yeah. I think we did talk about it.
Yeah. Or maybe I think you wrote it in something or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the point is that of course it's not going to work, and it's been proven why it doesn't work. The science behind it, because of constantly reducing your calories over time, slows down your metabolism because your body adjusts to that new caloric level, and so it uses a lot less energy to just self-sustain itself. And then in order to get more results, because you need to lose more weight, you have to
drop them down,
drop even more calories, and
you can't keep
doing it. Then it gets to
it.
the point where you're so low that's like, you go one day and you have a little bit of a binge or whatever, you gain like so much weight because your body's like, I don't know how to deal with all this extra stuff. Store it as fat, right? So So they fail. So all of these diets are cucumber diets, whatever. And it's just,
even like all like the big one that's been out for a while on Instagram now is like these stupid skinny teas. Like we're gonna have to do like a whole like
what the hell is that? I never heard of it.
Exactly. You just drink this skinny tea and then
tea. The tea's gonna make you skinny.
Yeah, because basically I think I have to research it, but I think what it does is it actually just makes you shit.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like
a diuretic. Yeah, it just makes you crap it all out. And then I think you just drink tea all day and then that makes you feel full too. So you're not eating as much. And yeah.
Whatever happened to good old fashioned fast?
I know.
I know. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Like our nutrition is all messed up. And like,
yeah.
And I'm getting to the point now too. We're veering off here, but that's okay. That's okay. We can talk about whatever we want. Fuck, I can talk about whatever I want. It's my show.
Oh my God.
So like I'm really steering toward, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but really steering towards wanting to be vegetarian, vegan, whatever you want to call it.
Plant-based.
And just more of a plant-based, because everything that's out there is saying that like we're humans, the way we are, the way our intestines are, the way our digestive system is, we are like herbivores. We're not like carnivores. We're not meant to eat meat. And moving to like a lot of the science out there that's coming out now is that, number one, a lot of people back in the day that were like your gladiators or whatever, they were shown to be on plant-based diets. I think we saw that in the Game Changers movie. They were using plants as their primary fuel source. Yeah. And then it does a whole lot of things where you reduce meats, you're reducing a whole lot of things like high cholesterol and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. There's just...
Well, your liver makes 80% of your cholesterol. So what you eat is what?
Mm-hmm. No, keep going.
So yeah, you eat 80% of your cholesterol is made in your liver. So what you eat is actually negligible. And even the American Heart Association, it's come out at like what you eat, cholesterol that you eat it's negligible.
Oh, yes.
It's not going to create high cholesterol.
So maybe I'm thinking of something else that meat does to you if you have a lot of it. I can't remember what it is. But anyways, the point is that plants are so healthy for you. Yeah. And if you stick to eating plants, you're not going to get obese. You're not going to have all these health issues that are associated with being obese. And the more I look into it, and we'll talk about it at some point as I research more into it, that it's just the way to go. The thing is, it's just, we're trying to find foods that we can not substitute. I don't want to substitute. I don't want to have something that tastes like a steak and be like, I just need to find good recipes that we can go and that we could just transition out of eating meat, because even forgetting about all the science behind is vegan better for you than meat or whatever it is that look at the animals and look at how they're brought up. So like disgusting. I look at how cattle is brought up, and gross. It's like,
it's not healthy.
You want to eat that?
No, thank you.
It's disgusting. And like that. What's that book? The Mad Cowboy
Mad Cowboy.
Yeah, read that book and be like,
oh, you'll never want to.
And then go have a steak. Yeah, we say that, but then it's like we're still.
I know.
Not a lot. I'm not saying we eat a lot, but it's not. I want to just even on that alone. But now that the science is, I think it's starting to come out as to how much beneficial it actually is to be on a plant-based diet.
But I think like going kind of circling back, I think it's just starting to come out like how like the best human diet. Like we're just now starting to figure that out. And for me, like having done all kinds of research and everything, I think it's even coming to the point where I forget what the new term is, but it's like nutrigenomics. So everyone comes from different regions, right? Like their lineage is different. So they're going to respond differently to different types of quote unquote diets. So I think that information and that diet information is getting better.
But how far back can you go though? Because we're all humans. Yeah. We're all the same species.
But we all have genetics. Well, there's genetics and epigenetics.
Yeah. But I mean, like if you go back to like, well, humans, they all originated out of Africa. And then like when we were at this one stage, so we're all eating kind of the same thing. Yeah. So like, for example, I guess like if you're in a place, so say you go, like humans started, say in Africa or whatever, and then humans end up going, and then they end up living somewhere North Polish or whatever. And then their diet just consists of, I don't know, whales, polar bears, seals or whatever. And they're just eating meat. Yeah. Like I don't think that's healthy though, right? Like, I don't know if there's been any, anyways, I'm just saying in terms of like, is that still good? So are you saying that just because maybe?
No. What I'm saying is that, um, we're all going to have different adaptations and different genes that are work better with different foods. And so I think what's going to eventually happen is nutrition is going to become very personalized. So because
do a DNA analysis or whatever, and then, oh, this is how you respond.
Yeah. And there's actually services out there now. Dr. Rhonda Patrick has it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So it is coming out there. So I think the more research that's coming out, I think the other big problem is that doctors are not informed enough about nutrition.
No, they shouldn't be talking about that. They don't know.
And so I think people go to their doctor expecting to get information and they're not. So it's the more information, the more research that's done, and the better idea we have in terms of diet and what to be eating.
Do you think it's going to be a thing though, where people are going to say like, oh yeah, so you should just be eating meat? You know what I mean? Like, because of your whatever markers in your DNA.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I can't see that.
No.
I know people talk about
there's
like
lots of people
keto and all that kind of stuff.
But there's even this carnivore diet too that's out.
Like, I just eat. And what is it? I think Jordan Peterson was talking about this once. It's like, oh, I was just eating meat and greens. Oh, it was really good. But then my stomach was giving me issues. So then I just cut out the greens, cut out the leaves. Yeah. And then I feel fine. I'm like, yeah. All right, go ahead. Eat just a steak. Like,
but that's what he's been doing. There's an actual medical doctor that's doing it too. He's this big carnivore diet guy.
Let's see what happens. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know. Nobody's going to live forever.
No.
But it's fascinating in terms of science and longevity and yeah, I don't know. But I think too, like, I guess eating just carnivore is a lot better than eating processed junk.
100%.
It's a lot better than all that other garbage that makes, because that's the stuff that really makes you fat, right? It's not like if you just ate a steak a day, I don't think you're going to be.
You're not going to be obese.
I don't think it's good for you.
You're not getting all your micronutrients. That's for sure.
So maybe they just take it. Maybe it just takes a Centrum or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. Anyways, but that's getting
way into the weeds.
But it's all part of why someone would get obese, whatever. But bringing everything back to the initial point is that, yeah, it's tough. Like, I don't have anything against anybody who's at any weight. Like, you're going to do you, and then I'm going to do me. That's fine.
Yeah.
And if you want me to give you advice on what I think you can do to lose weight, things that have worked for me and things that I've read that worked for a lot of people, and how to live a healthier lifestyle, I will talk to you, no problems, and try to give guidance in a positive way, and motivate and be like, give you like, all right, you lost 2 pounds, great, good job, keep it up. Yeah. And I will be there to support anybody who wants that, and no shame or no nothing, and you are who you are, and that's fine. But it's just not healthy. I'm just going to tell you, it's not healthy.
Well, and I think the thing is that maybe what's happening is that maybe there are concerned family members that are coming to these overweight and obese people that are part of this movement, and they're coming to them out of love and out of concern, saying, look, it's not healthy, and I love you and I want you around for a long time. And so maybe you should think about trying to lose some of the weight. And I think instead of seeing it as something that's like constructive criticism in a way, they're seeing it as being shamed or being judged. And they're taking it very personally when
you say it like that. How could that be?
Because right, people take things in a different way, and because it's a personal thing, and it is about how you look.
Because it makes you feel bad, because you're because maybe it's of course, that it's not good, right?
And so I
think, would you feel bad if you know that it was good, right?
Yeah.
Like, if someone came up to me and says, "Oh, I know whatever you're doing, but you're kind of too smart, and we need to tone it down." Like, I was like, no, I'm proud of my intelligence, and I don't know.
So I think maybe that's part of the problem as well. And then I think too, like, then you have to think about like some of those examples of people like on planes that are quite overweight and having to pay for 2 seats and being upset about that, and and feeling discriminated against because of those things. And it's like, well, they're going to lose out on a ticket because you need 2 seats. So can you like,
yeah, it's their business.
It's
They
their
can charge,
business.
they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's not discrimination. You're taking up 2 seats. That's one less,
one less spot
fare that they have. So
is it fair to me that I have to get squished up beside you if it's 3 people in there and I'm stuck like this on a 6-hour flight where I can't move?
Yeah. And then the other thing is like the amount that obesity costs the countries is actually astounding. Like, I even like, I was just reading it.
There's people that say that, that's all bullshit.
No, the economic impact and like the health burden that's put on like the healthcare system, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
What did they like?
We talk about this as well too before when we're talking about insulin and how like when you have diabetes and to treat it, it's like they're not actually giving people the tools to actually reverse diabetes. It's just like, well, here's something that we can help manage it maybe by giving you insulin, which is worse. It makes it worse, right? It doesn't. No one has ever, as far as I know, has been cured from diabetes by getting to the point where they have to get insulin shots.
You never will be,
because it just makes it worse, and you just get fatter and fatter, and then you'll die. Like you just will.
But it's interesting. Like so
they don't fix the medical system. Doesn't fix anything. They manage.
So the World Health Organization came out with the estimate. They estimate the global cost of obesity at $2 trillion a year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. So
and that's everything related to being obese. So if everyone wasn't obese, there would be $2 trillion less spent on healthcare.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of strain.
Yeah.
And something that's 100% preventable.
Yep.
But then that's like, wow, it's just so frustrating because I think and this is I guess maybe the takeaway at the end of the day, all of this talk is so negative because it's not going to help anybody solve the problem. No. Right. You have to acknowledge that it is a problem and that there are consequences to it.
Yeah.
And to try to do things to eliminate it. Like I said, all these kids now that are growing up. And you know what? Is it the parents' fault? Is it society's fault? I mean, they're obviously getting fed the wrong foods.
Yep.
And they're not eating healthy. And healthier foods are more expensive. I don't like, who's to blame for all of this stuff? I mean, at the end of the day, it's easy for me to be like, well, parents got to take responsibility. They're not feeding their kids, whatever. But they also don't know any better. I don't know, right? The education's not there. Then you got it. If you want to know, go to the library. Libraries are free.
But remember, like how we were talking,
internet. Everything is out there, right?
But even they don't even know what they don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Like it gets to that everything as well. And like even like us, and this is why part of, I think, of doing this podcast is because even us that we're both highly educated, I'm constantly reading all these different books.
Well, we're learning. This is a learning process.
And even I'm like keto, vegan, like
I don't know.
I'm confused about it, right?
And we've been talking about even today. It's like this whole meat thing versus plants. Like I don't know because one study is like meat is good. Another study, meat causes cancer. Another study, or like one thing that we heard about when you're going vegan. It's like, if you're vegan, then there's no way you could survive because there's certain amino acids that you can't get or something like that. And then other people are like, no, you get everything you need from plant-based diet.
But
there's no
point
problem.
is like if if we are confused and we have all of this education behind us and the motivation behind us, think of people that just
never even researched it.
Yeah, just don't have the time or the bandwidth like we do, right?
Yeah, like you get that. See, I hate that though because you don't have the time. You make the time. You don't have that. I don't have time. I make time.
Yeah.
People are like, I don't have time. Yeah. Let's look at your Netflix account and see how many hours you spend watching Netflix or how much time you are on Facebook. You have time.
I agree.
Okay. I mean, the single mom who's working 3 jobs and she's got 3 kids. Okay. Maybe she's whatever, but I mean, that's not everybody. And it's like, there's if you want to be healthy, take the time to learn and understand, right? Because the information is out there. And I don't know, maybe that's one of the things that we're doing this is to try to just put our stuff out there because like I said, we're learning and then maybe in 3 weeks this will all change, right? It'll be like, here's what we learned. This is what we learned this week. And that's kind of what it is.
Yep.
But I don't know.
But at the end of the day, everybody knows it's healthier to drink water than pop. It's healthier to have spinach than chips.
Oh, not according to Jordan Peterson. Spinach versus chips. I'm just saying.
It's healthier to have some strawberries or an apple than to have ice cream. Yeah. Everybody knows that. That's at the end of the day.
Do they? I don't know.
At the end of the day, everybody knows that.
But like ice cream is branded now as like, get your calcium and get your milk. You need dairy. And that's the other thing too. Like, is it really healthy drinking cow milk? Like another animal's milk? It's so weird.
Yeah. Well, our kids have never drank it
for forever.
The kids have never had milk.
No, because we stopped drinking that. I'm like, I remember just thinking about it. It's like, wow, they're milking another animal and we're drinking it. What the hell? What the hell am I doing? It's disgusting. Anyways, but yeah, like, but it's marketed, right? It's good for the bones. And then it's like, that was always the thing. Remember growing up, you got to drink your milk for your calcium, whatever. It doesn't turn out like it does shit for your bones. It's like, you need something else completely to help for your bones.
Yeah, you do.
What is it? I don't know. Like I think it was like spinach is like so much better or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. Whatever. Yeah. But the point is that like, been lied to, even from like, it was in Canada's food guide. Yep. Probably still is there. It's probably still there, right? Like, I don't know.
But yeah, but the fat acceptance, I really think that you have to like delineate that you're accepting that person as a good, nice person. And it's not that they're a bad person. You're not judging them. It's just, don't say
here are the facts
that being fat is healthy when it's not, and there's science behind it to say that it's not.
Yep.
Don't promote that.
Don't promote it. Yeah.
Promote kindness, promote acceptance of people that are different than you, but don't promote something that is unhealthy. That's like, it's like promoting smoking in my opinion. Yeah. That's what it is.
It's like, you smoke, develop lung cancer, you have all these medical issues, whatever, and be like, you got to accept me. You know, it's like, I got lung cancer or whatever. And it's like,
you got to pay for my chemo.
You're discriminating against me because I'm smoking. Don't tell me it's unhealthy for you. It's anybody. It's fine. Yeah. And then it's like, no, it's not. It's not okay. Yeah. Like that alcohol,
that analogy.
You gave to. It's the same thing. It's like, you got to call it like it is. And it's just not healthy. Eating these, and that's the thing. It's like, there has to be more of a stigma onto these foods and being like, these foods that these companies are peddling. Yeah. It is poison. Yeah. It's not healthy and it kills. It's a slow killer, just like tobacco. It's a slow killer. Same like alcohol. Like, these are slow killers and they're meant and designed to be addictive. Yep. And they know it. Everyone knows it.
Well, there's a really good book. I didn't finish reading it, but it's called Sugar, Salt, Fat. And it's, the whole industry and how they find this like bliss point and
of course
for people to so it's all about if there I know this Tess Halliday, she was saying stuff about concerned about the the whole diet culture and how it's marketed to women. Well, I'd be more concerned about these food companies and how they're marketing
to children.
But
that's the thing. Look at what
exactly.
Like, take that anger and point it at like a company like McDonald's and how they hook children. Yes. But then again, I don't blame. It's the thing. I don't blame companies so much because McDonald's doesn't take their hamburgers and shove them down my throat. I make the decision to go to McDonald's, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And if I'm going to eat it all the time, I'm going to have to live with the consequences of my actions.
Yep. It's all, but I think it all comes back to taking responsibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain things too. I mean, if a company does something that, I don't even want to get at this because I'm going to go off the rails here. We're talking about other things. But there are times, of course, where companies are to blame because they do things that are just despicable to do.
Of course, 100%. But
the stuff they do with the food is, I don't know, maybe it is getting pretty up there. Like, I'm not saying they're 100% off the hook either, because what they are doing is stuff is despicable in terms of having it such a science and creating these addictive substances.
Yeah.
But same thing, it's tobacco companies. It's like the problem is that they lied, right? They lie about it. They're saying it's not addictive and all this shit that they did. It was terrible. But they didn't just tell you to smoke. They didn't force you to smoke. You made that choice yourself.
You have to make that choice. Yeah.
So anyways, but the food industry, it's, I mean, this is probably the biggest industry. Like, everyone eats food. Everyone eats food, right? So it's
really
like
a choice.
It's a huge industry.
Yeah. No,
and that's the thing too. Like, Like imagine everyone went like plant-based, like all of our world's food problems would be solved like overnight. And like we'd have so much more land. Like all of the land. Go take a drive down the countryside.
Mm-hmm. It's all cow corn.
It's all for corn. It's all for animals.
Yeah.
Like imagine if that was for humans.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and even
it's
like
the amount of water and energy that goes into producing your meat food is like, again, forgetting about whether plant-based is better for you or not than animals, just on the science alone and what we're doing to our planet.
Yeah.
And that's, sorry, this is another thing, totally off the rails. You were going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Totally off the rails. But like people that say like, oh, I want to do something for the planet or whatever. It's like,
you better be a vegetarian.
You know, just try not to eat meat. It's like, oh, yeah, but burgers taste so good. It's like that meat you had costs like hundreds, if not thousands of liters or bottles of water to produce. Like there's so much energy to make that one cow.
Yep.
Like think about how much a cow eats. Anyways, so
I think this will be definitely another podcast when we talk about that.
Day.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's I think those are our thoughts on that. I think we've said it all to death, and I just wanted to get it out there because I don't even know why. Just to talk about it because there might be people that are interested.
It's been on my radar. It's been on my radar with people I follow on Instagram, and
it's an interesting topic, and I think there's good ways to approach it and bad ways to approach it, I guess too.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to go off and yell at anybody or make anybody feel bad. About who they are, because no one should feel bad about who they are.
No, and I think at the end of the day is
could be honest about themselves. Just honest about what it is. And, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have a condition because your leg is broken and you're limping or whatever, just be honest about it. Don't say it's something else. You have a condition of why you got fat and why you got unhealthy, or that it is unhealthy. It's like, that's what happened. And it is what it is. And the question is, what are you going to do about it now?
Yeah. You gonna nut up?
You gonna nut up and shut up? Or just what's the opposite of nut up?
Shut up. Are you gonna nut up or are you gonna shut up?
Or shut up and nut up. I don't know.
Or are you gonna nut down?
Are you gonna nut down?
Not sure what that means.
I don't know what that means, but it can't be good. I don't think it's good. Anyways, all right. I think with nutting down, we'll shut down. That makes no sense whatsoever.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it.
As always.
And we'll catch you back in, I don't know, the next episode.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.